Welcome to Unique Eagles Educational Center. Today, we'll be talking about Nigeria political system. And with us today, we have Mr. Chibuzo Ezeanyim. He's going to discuss with me today about Nigerian politics. And I believe you're ready to listen or to learn from us today. So, Mr. Chibuzo Ezeanyim, I don't want to make that mistake again. Did I pronounce it correctly?
Ezeanyim, yeah.
Okay.
You did good. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you for joining us today. Appreciate your comment.
You're welcome.
So, Sashibuzo, it is well known that Nigeria is a vast and a very big highly populated country. I could say that it's the most populous country in Africa with about 250 million people. That's a lot. And I believe that Nigeria has a lot of resources that will be enough to take care of these numbers. But we are still struggling with poverty. And I think the last time when I was in the research, I found out that life expectancy of Nigeria is about 45 or 46 thereabouts.
I mean,
and that is trouble.
It could be less than that.
Can you imagine that? So it means there's real problem. There's a lot going on in the country. So I want to first of all hear from you. What do you think about the political system in Nigeria at the moment?
According to them, I guess, we are practicing democracy. So we are practicing politics. At least we do election every 4 years. So, yes.
So in your opinion, do you think that word democracy is really practiced in Nigeria?
I mean, it depends on who you ask. Yeah. According to one that they followed to me, he said it's a demonstration of grace. So democracy, that's what you call it. Yeah.
So, oh my goodness.
So right now in Nigeria, we don't have our judiciary is not working. Registration, our registrators, Senate and both Senate and the House, they are singing the international item of psychophancy on their mandate which shall stand.
Wow.
So technically, all the institutions, every institution, and when you talk about politics, everything is involved. We need civil service, we need Nigerian police, you need the government, you need all sectors. You need everybody involved. But right now, in each organization, we have two different types of organizations. So if you call that democracy, I guess I don't know what it is.
That is very, very deep. That is very deep. So, like, I'll be wondering, looking at how the system works, once upon a time, we used to be named the giants of Africa. To the point that we go out there in various African countries to help them kind of like survive disasters and also war and all that. So in your opinion, how do you think we can still do those things right now in Nigeria?
Well, we still giant of Africa in terms of criminality, according to the last presidential candidate, Mr. P2B. So we still giant in every aspect that is not good. Everything that is good, yeah. We used to be at least number one.
Yeah.
In terms of GDP now, I think we are barely number 5. So we managed to survive over there. Every Egypt and South Africa will take us, and every other country are now rising. So everybody used to look up to Nigeria. I remember South Africa, we part of the country that helped replace South Africa. But now, I don't know what we are. Maybe we're giants of Africa in terms of corruption, in terms of poverty living, in terms of uneducated and out of school children, in terms of light. We don't have infrastructure.
Everything is so messed up. So what do you think could be the way forward? How can these things be changed? How can we make impact? How can Nigeria go back to the old glory days?
Yeah, I mean, we need to start believing in ourselves. We don't need nobody to help us. Nobody's going to save us. We need to save ourselves. I don't know.
You mean in the citizens?
The citizens themselves. That's when I say we, I mean citizens, me included, and you included.
Right.
So right now we're in America and some other people are everywhere. You have more people outside Nigeria than inside. So if things are working properly, most of these guys that are out there, they would have been home helping out. So, but the people that are home, there's a better way to do it. Let me say, all these demonstrations, all these protests, it's not working anymore because most of the protests that you see out there are sponsored. So even when normal people, normal Nigerians decide to go protest about bad government, like the last protest they had, there's an element of foreign elements.
Influence.
Yeah, foreign influence, and also some people were paid. If it becomes unsustainable, if you get to a point whereby we are trying to achieve something, those bad elements, those bad influence, we get involved and start, those are the ones that cause trouble, and we need to find a better way to demonstrate.
So in your opinion, what could be that better way?
It could be anything. That's one thing I understand in Nigeria right now. There's a dynamic change. People are getting aware. People are understanding that the government is supposed to work for them. And when we talk about government, I'm not talking about like federal government. I'm talking about state. I'm talking about local government. Because sometimes our eyes are focused on the federal government and we forgot that we actually have a councillor that was supposed to be doing something. But what is he doing? We're just taking money from of your pocket, because those are your tax money, and you use it as an individual. So when you get little that you get, some of them will be transferred to state. Some of them, before you know it, the money will disappear because it goes from hand to hand. So we need to find a better way. We can't keep doing protests every day. We need to. There's other forms, other systems. Like in Southeast, which I won't encourage, but still is some form of demonstration. Because if Nigerian government understand that those Monday sit at home, if they understand that it's affecting the citizenry, if they understand that this is affecting the economy, they would have done something better. So there's a way. We all can decide tomorrow that 1 week, nobody goes to work, nobody do anything. Of course, people are going to suffer, but are we not suffering right now? Are people not dying?
Right.
People are dying every day. Look at the other day in Benue, 200 and something people plus died, and most of them were born to death. Are you telling me that when you don't do nothing and you decide to be a good citizen, that nothing bad will not happen to you? Things will keep happening whether you react or you don't react. But it's worse when you don't do anything and you keep dying. So if you're telling me that you stay home for 1 week and Nigerian government shut down, that you're gonna die that one, if that's the case, that means that you're not ready.
Wow,
so but according to me, the way I see the whole thing, if people are getting away and there's paradigm shift, people understand it, people are going to you. That's why I like all the social media. They are making people aware of what is going on. So we need to find a better way. We can't be doing the same thing and over again thinking. That's called insanity. Yeah, we can't be doing the same thing over and over again. We need to find a better way to initiate change, to let these people know that, okay, like now, as example, we need to find a way to elect, like our vote counts. We can decide like on election day to nobody go to vote. We all can decide to sit home. Nobody have thought about it. I've been listening to all these analysts and all so-called journalists, giving us one or two things, but none of them are actually saying what we're supposed to hear, because some of them are being paid. Most of them are owned by the politicians, so they're not telling you what to do. If we all decide right now, of course, there's going to be some psychophancy who will decide to go there, but if in a presidential election, they only have 10,000 votes out of 2 million plus. Let me say almost 100 and something that are eligible to vote, and only 10,000 people voted. Are you kidding me? Everybody will be looking at Nigeria like, what is going on?
Yeah, it will be obvious.
Yeah, it will be obvious that something is wrong. So that means we need to find a better way. We can't be doing protests, bad government, and these guys, the way they succeed, the way they're in government right now, because all these things you're doing right now, they're the one who started it. Like the first subsidy during Jonathan time, all these things, these guys already done it. So they know this way. They know how to get to you. So it don't matter what you do. This part we need to retain and come up with a better idea.
Re-strategize. That's really impactful. That's really awesome. That's really great. I don't even know what the right word to use right now, but I see that repeating the same system. The other time they had to go into protest and lives were lost. People died in the process and still did not change anything. Each of those protests has not been working. So I like the fact that we have to re-strategize. We have to re-strategize. That is true. And that brings me into the area of this discussion about our Nigerian youth. We see our leadership is being occupied by mainly old people. Do you think Nigerian youth getting involved in politics would make things better?
We actually can get involved. Right now, there's no hope for that. But if we insist that we get a credible INEC, a credible independent, look at what happened in the last election. Mahmoud tell everybody to go home. A result the next day by 4 a.m. But if we insist on electoral reform, how are we going to do that? We're going to insist that if we don't do certain amount of we all can decide not to get involved in this. I mean, they keep telling us we're the future. Yeah, future
of the nation.
We're the leaders of tomorrow.
Leaders of tomorrow, yes, that's tomorrow.
So how long? And that's why you see all these people, they elect a 60-something years old man as the youth leader. Are you kidding me? We can do this. It's not up to me. We all can decide. In as much as we have all this TikTok and we like to dance and do all that, and trying to get rich and forward and everywhere, but we can decide to change Nigeria. The last time before the 2023 election, before the electoral reform was passed, they decided not to do it, but we all stood up and was like, you must do this, until they went back to a certain section in that electoral reform and said INEC can decide not electrically to transmit. They can do that on their own discretion, which is crazy. So, but now we need to make sure that they take that section of the electoral reform out and said INEC must transmit electronically.
Immediately,
because if you can send money with your phone, that's all we do. The transaction we do in Nigeria now is through sending data and all that. So if you can do that with a phone, nobody can tell me, no politician can tell me that there's no data anywhere, even in the rural area.
Wow,
so we can do this.
That's
We just have to
also,
think. We just have to be
get
involved.
ready,
We can't be saying like, oh, it doesn't concern me anymore.
It's affecting everybody, even for those abroad. It's affecting them too indirectly.
I mean,
Because
I don't even want to talk about that because we don't even vote. Just like I said in the last video, where I mean, in terms of like that's part of the thing we need to insist, because us over here we understand what is good government, what is good governance. We understand that. We've been through that. We've seen how election works everywhere. I mean, none of them is like they are not heaven. It's just that they have good law. If you that's the only thing that is holding all this Western world together. The good law, the judiciary,
Yeah.
everything else. Okay, look at America right now. Donald Trump and the administration are doing whatever they feel like doing, but the judiciary keep holding them accountable. So if you can get the judiciary to hold these people accountable,
this is awesome. This is I just got fired up. I can see the passion in you. I can feel the passion in you. Like you just want to get it off.
Yeah,
I'm so excited to hear that. I think we're gonna get a second phase of this, because this is really interesting. I'd like to discuss this further again, but because we're running out of time, we may not really go further than this today. I really want to appreciate you for joining us today, Mr. Chibuzo Ezeanyin. And before we call it a day, do you have a conclusive word for us today?
get involved. Get involved. Stand up for yourself. Don't stand up for yourself. These people cannot help you, because every registration they pass, they are doing it for yourself, not for you.
True.
Until you get involved, nothing will be done.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Ezeanyin. All right, guys. See you guys in our next video. Have a wonderful time. As usual, you already know this already. I would like to say, stay out of trouble and stay safe. See you guys next week. Bye.